Welcome back students to my online class. This is Sarker Afroz, lecturer, Department of English. In my today's class, I am going to talk about how to write an email perfectly. Well, dear students, hope everyone has clear idea about email because it's a very popular and easy way for communication nowadays. But dear students, unexpected happen when a student starts to write in the examination. We find there lots of mistakes. As a consequence, they do not get their expected marks. So dear students, don't forget that it's the leading way to examine you how good you in English, to express your opinion, your ideas, emotion, or any kind of description in brief. So dear students, hope you understood the seriousness of these topics. Now, let's have a look on the board.
Sure.
Well, dear student, you can see I already have written here what I meant by email. Here is the definition. What is an email? Email means electronic mail. It is a message distributed by electronic means from one computer user to one or more recipient via a network. This is the definition of this email. Now dear student, I am going to tell you in examinations there are two types of email is very common. First one is formal email and the second one is personal email. Dear students, I didn't write here the definition of these two type of email, but now I'm going to discuss about formal email. A formal email is typically sent to someone whom you don't know well or to someone else who is in authorities. On the other hand, a personal email usually goes to a person you know very well. Often it's someone you are on good terms, such as your friend or family members. So dear students, hope you understand the definition of formal email and the personal email. Now, another important thing that is purse of email is very important. If you want to write an email correctly, you have to follow this purse because very important information is here. Okay, first part, to obtain a good marks, you have to import. Okay, as I earlier told you, you have to write the information about sender info. I wrote here in short, that means information. You have to write the sender information. Next one, recipient information. Third, sending detail. Sending detail, that means you have to write here the time, date and the date. Time, day and date. Very important. Next one, subject. You have to write subject to be specific. Next, greeting. Greeting is very important here. Next comes description. When you are giving description, be careful, you are not permitted here to write lots of dialogues. Next one, it comes complimentary conclusion. That means you have to finish it by an complimentary conclusion. These are the parts which is very important for an email writing, and definitely if you follow these rules, you will obtain a good marks in the examination. Well, dear students, before I go for an example, I just want to mention here the top do's, what you have to do. Okay, first thing, please follow this carefully because I wrote here, write a meaningful subject line. Here in the parts I told you need a subject, so your subject line should be meaningful. Next, keep the message focused. That means you have to write in, not in detail, just focus on the subject. Next, avoid large statement. It is very important. I told you when I was describing about the description. Avoid large statement. Next one, identify yourself clearly. That means as a sender, who are you, what you want to say, what is your purpose, all these things please clear yourself. Be polite and kind. That means don't be harsh when you are writing an email, and you have to be polite and kind whom you are writing this email. Next is come, check spelling and grammar. Very important. Dear students, focus on these topics, these do's. Spelling, you have to check this, and grammar as well. Next, discuss topic specially. That means related, it need to be relevant to the subject. Next one, be professional at work and informal with friends. I have already told you the classification where formal and personal email is. So you have to be professional at work and informative with your friends. So dear students, I hope you understood the do's, the parts and the classification. So it's very, don't forget these rules. Remember all the things. It will help you to obtain a good marks in an email. Well, now dear students, I will show you an example. I have already prepared it for you. You can see, here is my question. My question is, write an email to your friend thanking for the nice birthday gift. So this is your question. Now you have to write the answer. So I have already shown you the parts. Now here is an example for you. So you can see, at first I mentioned here from. What do you mean by from? In this cap, dear students, here in from, the sender will write his or her own email address, but you have to write it in small letter, like I'm doing this for you. Okay dear students, you can see me, I wrote here. Next portion is 2. In this portion here, the senders will write his or her own email address. At the same time, he has or she has to write in small letter. Suppose this is Mona. So here is for you. Next, send. You have to write here the detail of sending. At first, please mention the time, day, date, and time. When mentioning these things, please be careful about timing, because don't write anything uncivilized. Write here civilized time. It's very important. Next comes subject. Write a subject which should be specific and meaningful subject, relevant to the topics. So I can write here, thanking friend, thanking for nice birthday gift. That's all. Next, dear students, you can see there, if your email is personal, in that case you can write here dear name. That means whom do you want to write. If it's a professional, in that case you have to write dear sir or madam. After that, it's a greeting. After that, you have to start by an opening statement like this: hope you are well, you are well, like this. Now it's come description. When you are writing description, dear students, be careful. I wrote here clarity. Clarity is very important in this regard. Stop SMS language. Please, dear student, don't these things. Next, write spelling and grammar. Short. Next, avoid slang and contraction and be specific. Dear students, when you are giving the description, please be careful. Don't write anything unnecessary. Please discuss everything into the point. In that case, it will be very fruitful to the examiner, and it will clear your way to obtain a good marks. At the end, here is closing. You have to write a closing word sentence here, like I wrote here, sincerely yours, or you can write here regards, anything else, and your name. So this is the formula. This is the correct formula for write an email. Dear students, if you follow these rules perfectly, I'm sure you will obtain a very good marks in your examination. So don't forget to follow this and practice a lot. Before I finish it, I want to show you an example here. As I said, number 5, you can see here is an example where the email is a personal email, and next one in number 6, you can see this example is a, see, it's a formal email. So dear students, I hope you are clear now and understood the correct method of writing email. I want to show you the whole format, and don't forget to draw the boxes. It's very important, dear students. An important thing, don't forget to draw the big box as I did so you have to create a good impression to your examiner, and don't forget to draw this. Well, dear students, I hope you understood the whole method of writing an email. So thank you very much. That's all for time being. Thank you very much.